Good morning, my fellow Michiganders. Good morning, my fellow Americans. I told you I was only going to do one live this week. However, I said if something happened, I would get on here again and I would do another. And obviously, we have some things to talk about today with the governor again. There will be one day in the future that we won't have to talk about her anymore. Won't that be some sunshine on our cloudy day? But I told you I'd get on here if something happened, and obviously it did. She gave the Gestapo, as I'm calling it, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. She activated them to bring down their hammer against our constitutional freedom, sacred values, and citizens' rights. And so I have some things to go over today, all right, or this morning, I should say. Number one, when we're in a crisis. When we are in a crisis, there's two meanings to that word crisis, and I have them written down right here. One meaning to the word crisis is there is a danger that will be a change for the worse. And I know a lot of you out there are feeling that it may be this, right? That there may be a change on the horizon that will be for the worse. But a leader, a great leader, will take a crisis and turn it into an advantage. And the other meaning to the word crisis is an opportunity to change society for the better. And holy cow, we have one heck of an opportunity right now to do just that. So hope is a great thing. Keep the faith is even greater. So understand this. There may be a lot of people out there right now that were on the fence about this election. We know that most of us that are watching right now, that we lean a little right now. There's a lot of people out there that have already voted for President Trump, and there's going to be a lot more of us out there in the state of Michigan and throughout this great country that are going to vote in person on Tuesday at the election. But I'm speaking to the people right now that were kind of on the fence with voting for him. And maybe you already sent in your ballot to vote for Vice President Biden. Okay. And you're like, you woke up this morning, you saw the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and you're like, you know what? Holy cow, if a Democrat governor has doing this, what's going to happen if Biden gets elected? So there's probably a lot of you. Thousands, if not tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of you out there that already submitted your ballot, and now you're second guessing yourself. Now you're worried because you see and you're starting to realize that how quick and easy people are so quick to hand over their freedoms, and you're worried not only for yourself, but for your children and for your grandchildren. Maybe even for this very country that we all love, for that flag that we all love, because it comes down to this. You're either for the Constitution or against it. Nobody should ever be able to take away your citizens' rights, your sacred values, and your constitutional freedoms, no matter what. No matter if we're in a pandemic or not, it should never happen. That's why our forefathers inked on that piece of paper is to protect the citizens of this great country, we the people, in times like this. So you're either for this puppy or against it. So a lot of you may have casted your vote already, and now you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Well, guess what? There is a way to change your vote in the state of Michigan. So if you casted your ballot and you're second guessing yourself now, especially since the Michigan Department of Human Health and Services have been basically weaponized by this tyrannical governor to take away our freedoms, and now they're doing contact tracing. We're supposed to give in our phone number when we go out to eat. We're going to get to all that here in a second, but I want to get the elephant out of the room. The people that are watching that you're upset that you might have voted for the wrong person. You can change your vote in the state of Michigan. And in the description of this video is how to do it. I attached a news article from, I think, Fox 2 in Detroit. I think that's where we're out of. And in that article, I'm going to read some of it, but I posted the link to the article. It said more than 2 million Michigan voters have already mailed in or submitted their ballots ahead of Election Day. It's a lot, folks. But some might be wondering if they can change that vote according to Google Trends. So if that was the trend on Google one day ago, I can only imagine what happened this morning when people woke up to see the Gestapo bringing down their tyrannical hammer that was weaponized by the governor. Google searches of the phrase, "Can I change my vote?" peaked Tuesday morning in the U.S. around 6 a.m. Eastern. One of the states where it surged was in Michigan, one of the key battleground states in the presidential election. While most states do not allow voters to change their early votes, Michigan is one of those states that does allow them to be changed. In Michigan, it's called spoiling your ballot. It's commonly used during primaries after candidates drop out of races. However, it can be used during any election. According to the Secretary of State's office, you have until 5 p.m. on Friday, October 30th, today, folks, to change your vote by mail. However, if you would like a new ballot, you must sign a request and state you want a new ballot mailed to you or be picked up in person by that deadline. However, you can also, and this is the one I want you to remember right now, however, you can also spoil it in person at your local clerk's office by 10 a.m. on November 2nd, okay? Lastly, if you have not submitted your ballot, you can return it and spoil it in person by 4 p.m. at your local clerk's office by 4 p.m. on November 2nd. If a voter has not yet returned their ballot, you can surrender it in person, or sign a statement stating that the ballot was lost or destroyed and vote in person. To find your clerk's office, go to the state's website here. And coincidentally, when I clicked on their little link in their little article, there was a big error. Weird. So I went one step forward. I included the link in the description of this video of the county clerk or where to find your county clerk. So don't go to the article and click on it because it won't work. That's interesting. You can actually click on the link that I included in the description of this video to find your county clerk and go spoil your ballots and change your vote. There's 2 million that have casted their vote early. And if there's hundreds of thousands of you out there that are second guessing because you are for something, you are for a piece of paper, and those inalienable rights that our Creator has bestowed upon us of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and you want to change your vote, you can in the state of Michigan. So as the leader of this movement, I am not going to look at this crisis and worry and come out here and spew negativity and spew lies and say, hey, there's going to be danger. Our country's screwed. This is going to be a change for the worse. No, I'm not going to look at it that way. I'm going to look that the governor just gave us some chicken salad with this opportunity right here. That's what she just gave us, because this is going to fire up a lot of people. It's going to fire up a lot of people because the clown show is being revealed to all of us. And that's why I'm not getting on here and giving you all this energy, because I told every single one of you out here ever since April that this was going to be the narrative. And I have called it right every single time. I said, wait until October before the election. She's going to try to bring down her tyrannical hammer to try to steal away from this election. You got to understand, folks, that she's doing this obviously for her political aspirations, her political agenda, because if her boy Biden does not get elected, she's going to be in trouble. She is going to be in trouble because if Biden gets elected, she's probably going to be on the cabinet in some way or another. You heard it here first. That is my prediction. And she knows this, and she's trying to do everything that she can to try to give this state to President Biden, because President Trump Vice President Biden, President Trump only won this state by 10,000 votes. And so right now, by doing what she did yesterday, gave us an opportunity. And I know President Trump, a little rough around the edges. He truly is. But either way, if you would like to change your vote for either candidate, you can do that. The details are in the links of the description of this video. So this, to me, is not a danger for society to turn for the worse. To me, this is an opportunity to seize the moment. Carpe diem. Seize the day. And take this state. Take this state and make sure that this is still protected for your children and grandchildren. So your call to action today, folks, is number one. There's over, I'm looking right now, 1,600 people watching this live. If every single one of you, because we are getting censored dramatically on Facebook right now, share this video right now. In the bottom corner of your phone or your computer or wherever you're at, there is a share button. Share it to your timeline. Do that right now. And I know a lot of you may be scared of the social backlash that you may receive. But I tell you what, if you don't stand for something now, there may not be a country for you to stand for in the future. This is probably one of the most important elections in the history of this country. So you have a choice right now. You can consent and slowly, with every single day, have your citizens' rights, sacred values, and constitutional freedoms continue to be taken away from you and be traced. What's next? Camps. So I also included in this video, because Vice President Biden wants to work with China, even though we all know where this virus came from, the China flu, the Wuhan flu, as President Trump calls it. There is a great documentary on PBS. I also included in the description of this that I really feel that you should watch and share. And it's a special undercover report from China's secretive Xinjiang region. I butchered that. I'm sorry. Frontline investigates the communist regime's mass imprisonment of Muslims and its use and testing of sophisticated surveillance technology against the Uyghur community. Okay? That is something for you all to watch because it's slowly happening in our country right now. Surveillance, tracing. All of your freedoms that we hold so dear to our heart and to our soul is slowly being taken away from us under the cloak of a pandemic, which we all know we have over a 99% chance of surviving. Restaurant owners, this is your opportunity to do what's right. To do what's right. So are you really going to collect the phone numbers of your patrons? Because here's the thing, folks. If the restaurants do this, or any stores or any business owner, you have to understand that it is their right to do those things. No shoes, no cert, no face diaper, no service. They can do those things. It's their right. You can't go into businesses and start screaming at the owners, start screaming at the people who are working there and saying, you can't do that's against my constitutional rights. That may be true, but it's the business owner's right to mandate what they want in their business. That's what we're fighting for, is choice. And my suggestion to all of you is keep a tally like I do. If there's businesses out there who are bringing down their tyrannical hammer, I will never support that business again. I won't. I don't go in there and scream at the manager and video and go Facebook Live and do all those things. I won't do that. I'm not going to call out small business owners. I do know I make a checklist in my mind and say, you know what, for the rest of my life, for my very heartbeat, I will not go support that business. That is their right. They can do those things. I will, however, support as many as I can. And I hope more and more business owners, after seeing this, will start to stand up and fight back and not consent. Because the Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association just released a statement following this new order. We appreciate and respect the efforts of the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services to keep all Michiganders safe as COVID-19 cases continue to rise in Michigan. And the reason they're rising is because everybody and their mother are getting tested, even though the positivity continues to go down. And the deaths continue to be very, very low. Viruses, folks, they go through society, and as they mutate, they actually become less virulent. They may become more contagious, but they're less deadly. Prove me wrong. We maintain, however, that a restaurant industry specific contact tracing mandate lacks merit given existent science and data. Good for you. 100% accurate. The COVID-19 outbreak investigation data collected by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services continues to show minimal transmission from restaurant dining despite the rising caseloads, representing only 2% of the cases the state is investigating. Good for you, restaurant. In relation to the size and scope of the industry, which serves millions of people every day and employs several 100,000 more, this well-intended effort is more likely to result in job loss, foreclosure, and fewer restaurants that will prevent transmission. Restaurants across the state have risen to the challenge thrust upon them in 2020, providing a place for people to safely gather, eat a great meal, and feel well and feel human. We remain confident that if given the opportunity, restaurants will continue to offer this experience in a safer environment than alternatives that are less regulated and less sanitized. That is from the Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association. Good job, folks. Now it's up to the business owners to decide if they're going to do that. And if they are, you will not see this guy in there. And if they do want my number, I'll probably be giving another number, maybe to call the governor's office. So what is going on with our senators? A lot of people are out there just getting all over our senators and saying, what are they doing? Why aren't they standing up? And they're trying, folks. Their hands have been tied throughout this entire thing. And I don't know politics in the behind the scenes of what's going on because I'm not interested in that game.
But Senator Mike Shirkey released a statement earlier this week. Speaker Chatfield and I again reached out to Governor Gretchen Whitmer, asking her to work with us to combat our recent COVID-19 surge. Instead of taking us up on this offer, she once again chose to go at it alone, weaponizing her Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. So again, this is not the danger, I feel, unless we don't act. This is an opportunity to act. And we all can act. And I'm talking to everybody out there who are on the fence that want to change their vote. You can do that in the state of Michigan. So do that. Start the process today. All the information is in the description of this video. Go change your vote and vote for the person that you feel that is going to represent this. And remember, you may not like that person's character, ego, tweets. However, I'm going to vote for the person who stands for this, who's going to hold the line to make sure this is well solidified in our country. And it's well solidified for my kids and for my grandchildren. So our aspirations can take root, our legacies can continue to grow, and our family trees can flourish for generations to come. That's what I'm voting for. And it's not too late for you to act. So use this opportunity today. You can spoil your ballot and change your vote and change it to the person that solidifies this country's future. God bless you. God bless the state of Michigan. And God bless these United States. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.